Water is life, yet millions live in fear of losing it. In South Asia, particularly India and Pakistan, water scarcity has evolved into a major geopolitical conflict, one that could spiral into violence if not handled with care. The stakes are high. Both countries are nuclear powers, and their populations depend heavily on agriculture, which in turn relies on the flow of rivers originating from the Himalayas. Today, we'll break down this decades-old conflict, explore its human rights implications, and highlight possible solutions to avert a disaster. Water is the backbone of Pakistan's economy. With over 90% of Pakistan's crops depending on water from the Indus River, agriculture directly influences food security and livelihoods. Pakistan's growing population, projected to hit 230 million by 2025, only adds to the pressure. Yet Pakistan is already one of the most water-stressed countries in the world, with water availability dropping dangerously close to scarcity levels. Background of the conflict and the Indus Water Treaty. The water dispute between India and Pakistan dates back to their independence in 1947. As India controls the headwaters of the Indus River system, tensions escalated. The Indus Water Treaty, IWT, brokered by the World Bank in 1960, was designed to prevent a water war. It divided the rivers. India got control over the eastern rivers, Ravi, Sutlej, Beas, while Pakistan gained rights over the western rivers, Indus, Jhelum, Chenab. The treaty worked, but not without friction. When India began constructing dams like the Baglihar Dam on the Chenab River, Pakistan's fears resurfaced. Dams on the western rivers, according to Pakistan, would severely affect its agriculture and water security. Tensions flared again with recent statements from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi threatening to bring the Indus back to India. India's construction of new dams on rivers flowing into Pakistan could lead to droughts or floods, devastating Pakistan's already fragile economy. Both nations are nuclear armed, making this conflict particularly dangerous. Mismanagement of the issue could lead to regional instability with catastrophic global consequences. Human rights and the role of the international community. Access to water is a fundamental human right, as recognized by the United Nations. India's control over water that flows into Pakistan puts millions of lives at risk, impacting not just food security but also health, employment, and sanitation. International bodies like the UN and World Bank must step in more effectively to ensure both countries manage this precious resource fairly. Bilateral talks. Diplomacy is the best course. Both nations need to engage in dialogue to de-escalate tensions and manage water resources jointly. Given the current animosity, this might seem far-fetched, but it's essential to avoid conflict. International mediation. If talks fail, the World Bank must play a stronger role in enforcing the Indus Water Treaty. Neutral experts could help resolve disagreements about dam constructions and water rights. China's role. As an upper riparian to India, China can influence the situation by threatening to block India's water flow from Tibet. While Pakistan should avoid escalating tensions, this could serve as a strategic pressure point. Better water management. Both countries must prioritize improving their water management practices. Dams, reservoirs, and water conservation efforts need to be modernized and expanded to cope with the growing demand. Water is not just a resource, it is life itself. The India-Pakistan water conflict must be resolved not only to preserve regional peace, but also to secure the future of millions. Dialogue, international cooperation, and sustainable management are the only ways to prevent this water crisis from becoming a water war. Water is essential for survival, and no nation has the right to deprive another of this life-giving resource. For more deep insights and expert analysis, subscribe to Security Lens.